do, and what people need to understand right now is everything good the United States government used to do, that all got cut. That's what the Doge thing was. There is literally nothing the United States government does that's good at all anymore. There is no good part. Hello, welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm explaining Agent Provocateurs. Okay, if you've never heard this term before, what this is when you have a protest and people are protesting, then you have a cop, an agent, that's dressed not like a cop, undercover, that blends into the crowd, but then actually starts like breaking windows, assaulting cops, throwing stuff, okay? So I have been to protests. The protests, the very first, back in 1991, when the United States went into Iraq for the first time, I went to the anti-war protest and I went to the pro-troop rally. I went to both just to kind of see what people had to say. There really wasn't any more protests until Occupy for me. So that's all the way from like 1991 all the way up until was Occupy was 2011. So in 2011, I went to countless marches for the Occupy movement, went to block terminal from ships that were coming in. Just by standing there, that was not like, we weren't like battling anybody, I guess, to stop anything. We're just in the way type thing. So during Occupy, I would see time and time again, right, there would be early when it first started kicking off. The cops weren't really ready for it, right? But as it progressed over the months, they got their tactics down. So their tactics would be, they'd find out where there was going to be a march. They would send the SWAT or riot or whatever those guys are with the crazy gear. They'd send those guys. Those guys would show up and they wouldn't be there for even 5 minutes. When the protest had been completely peaceful, marching down the street or standing somewhere, whatever the case may be, right? But as soon as the cops showed up, as soon as that riot squad showed up, the Agent Provocateur showed up right at the same time. And time again, I'd see these guys and they never looked right. They never looked like they should have been there. The first thing I'd see when I'd see somebody breaking a window or doing something, I'd look at their shoes, right? Because if it's one thing cops like, it's like they like to look like cops. And so they have cop shoes. And so you can see that the guys breaking stuff that don't really look like protesters, they look like cops. And this is time and time again. The riot squad shows up at this nearly within 5 minutes of the riot squad showing up for no riot, just people peacefully protesting. The riot squad would show up. Then the Agent Provocateurs would be there within 5 minutes and they would start breaking things. And then the riot squad would attack the peaceful protesters. This happened every single time, okay? Not in the first like 2 or 3 marches, but after the first 2 or 3 marches, that happened every single time. So peacefully protesting almost can't be done because of the agent provocateur. So we see things like the Kyle Rittenhouse, where the cops actually pushed the protesters to where the private citizens that were just loaded up like they were going into Fallujah or something, the cops pushed those people there. And the cops also released crazy people from jail, which is another thing they do, which cops shouldn't have any contact with crazy people. We should have some sort of non-cop situation. The cops just use the crazy people. As soon as the protest starts, they go, oh, we got this crazy guy, we got this crazy guy. Get them out there in the streets. They drop them off right at the protest, okay? So they're like agent provocateurs without really realizing it because they're just poor crazy people, okay? So now moving forwards, if you want to protest peacefully, and at this point, from what I'm seeing, like they're not bothering with the provocateurs much anymore. The cops just assault people like there's provocateurs. They just immediately, there's a group of people, we can assault them, okay? So as peaceful protest becomes impossible, violent resistance becomes inevitable. This is a famous quote. I didn't make this up. I'm just repeating it. When peaceful protest becomes impossible, violent revolution becomes necessary. Period. So, if you're in a peaceful protest and you see somebody you suspect for being an agent provocateur, this is where, I think, number one, judge, jury, and executioner. I'm not saying kill anybody. I'm just saying, like, if you see somebody you think is an agent provocateur, it is incumbent on you to take action to nullify their ability to create issues that are going to come back on the crowd, okay? So that means if you see somebody break a window, you might want to break their something, break their nose, break their eyebrow, break their arm, Don't break windows, period. Don't do any property damage, just do peaceful protests, okay? March on Washington, physically go into the White House, physically remove the fascist traitors and deal with them appropriately, this type of thing. But breaking windows, doing property damage is more counterproductive than anything. So if you see somebody in your peaceful protest, and they quite possibly might be an agent provocateur, you gotta front them off at very minimum, get them out of there. But really, you gotta kind of teach those people a lesson, because the agent provocateur, they're not gonna just stop. They're not just gonna you know what I'm saying? They're being paid by your tax dollars, okay? And now they're trying to make it so cops can legitimately pepper spray you, assault you, all this stuff. That's what the agent provocateur is there for. Thus, they're kind of giving away their own personal safety, and they should not enjoy personal safety. An agent provocateur should be under constant threat of physical harm. Period. Agent provocateurs, okay? And you gotta deal with them. You can't just be like, oh, there's an agent provocateur, I'm just gonna ignore it. It'll be 5 seconds before you're breathing freaking mace, okay? So the agent provocateur is being paid by your tax dollars to make it so other cops being paid by your tax dollars can assault you, okay? So you gotta deal with them. You can't play around with them, okay? And when it comes to dealing with the fascist coup, breaking a window, that isn't doing anything. There's some very specific people that need to be broken, right? Charlie Kirk? No. What, Charlie Kirk? Pfft, no. The administration that is doing the fascist coup. And what people need to understand right now is everything good the United States government used to do, that all got cut. That's what the Doge thing was. There is literally nothing the United States government does that's good at all anymore. There is no good part. Back in 2023, there was a bit of a balance in the government between the good things the government did and the bad things the government did. Okay, there is no more balance. There is no more good. There is no more good that comes out of the United States government. Okay, you should not be paying taxes. You should be working to crumble the system as much as you can because it's illegitimate. Look at my video, the coup. Look at my video, how Trump stole the election for dummies. If you want to understand how what's going on right now is because they took over the country illegitimately. He didn't win. He stole the election for real. This is from data scientists, not from kooky lawyers. I've looked at it all. I looked at all the supposed stuff from back in 2020, which was all 100% kooky lawyer kook stuff. I looked into it all. There was nothing there. They literally found more votes for Biden on all their investigations. That was the sum result of those investigations. The reality is that is what twisted everybody's mind and enabled them to actually do these things that they were saying they were going to do. They said they were going to do it, they did it. This is an illegitimate presidency that's taking and ending the democracy, okay? So peaceful protesting, right, is crucial. But then there's the next level of stuff, okay? Because I don't think the peaceful protesting is going to work, right? I mean, you need millions of people on strike, not working, marching on Washington to physically remove these people. Nobody's doing that. The country's just laying down because they thought he won. He didn't win, okay? This is a multi-pronged attack. Elon on the freaking computers writing code. Jessica Denson's channel, an entire YouTube channel devoted to showing how easy the voting machines were hacked, all the freaking discrepancies of the 2024 election. And that's not just one. Christopher Titus, Scott Carney, Tom Hartman. Okay, these are all channels. You can find copious amounts of factual information that shows exactly how the election was stolen, okay? So peacefully protesting needs to happen on a massive scale. Like the entire country that isn't a MAGA fascist puppet needs to quit their jobs and march on Washington, or your lives are gonna be shit. The economy is never going to get better under this guy. He is destroying the world to make people poor because it's easier to control poor people than it is to control middle class people. Okay? Because the middle class has expectations. You're all going to be so fucking poor, your expectations are just going to be, can I get enough food to fucking survive? That's going to be your life if you don't march on Washington. Period. Peace.
Thank you for watching my video.